6, strategic planning. This is the fun chapter. So what the heck is a strategic plan? It kind of sounds real complicated. Actually, it's nothing more than a business plan. For a small business, you lay out what your mission is, your vision, and your strategy of how you're going to create that. For a bigger company or for a manager that's working with multiple departments, it gets a little more complex, but basically the steps are the same. Why would you use strategic planning or a business plan? There was a lot of studies done, and entrepreneurs who didn't have a business plan failed much more often than the ones who did have. 67% of businesses that failed did not have a business plan. So it's really kind of important to at least put it on the back of a napkin. So what does a strategic plan do? Well, it provides direction and momentum. Sometimes when you get into the thick of things, you forget where you're going, or you just get tired. If you read your business plan and always have that in front of you, then you've got a direction to move in. It encourages new ideas, because once you set down the old ideas, then you can kind of let go of those, and you can start building upon the old ideas, and so can your employees. And it develops sustainable competitive edge. If you have a business plan, you're not worrying about a lot of other details. You've already put it down, so you can be more responsive to your customers. You can be more innovative. You can focus more upon quality, and you can be more effective. So strategic planning is very important. Be you a small business person, a manager, or a CEO of a company, strategic planning is a much needed element in management. So what is a process of strategic management? There are 5 steps, I think. Step 1, let me tell you real quick the steps, and we'll come back and look at them. Step 1 is to create a mission and vision statement. Step 2 is to create a grand strategy. How will you make that mission statement become a reality? It's here somewhere. Step 3 is strategy formulation. Decide which strategy you're going to use. And we have some examples. Step 4 is implementing the plan. And step 5 is controlling, monitoring, and correcting the plan. So 5 steps, fairly easy to follow. Each one of them has a little more detail. So to create a mission statement and a vision statement, which are very, very important, there's some questions you need to ask. You need to ask who your customers are. What are your major products? What are they going to be? What is the geographical areas you want to compete in? What is your basic technology? Your commitment? What are our basic beliefs, values? This kind of right here kind of gives the ethical side of your business. What are your major strengths and competitive advantages? What are your public responsibilities? This is that social responsibility we talk about. And what is your attitude about employees? Again, you're looking at social responsibilities in a way. So that becomes your mission statement. This is who we are, what we want to do. The vision statement is where you're going to go. Okay? Is it appropriate? Is this an appropriate organization for the times? You're not making wagon wheels, are you? So make sure that what you are doing has room to grow and can adapt. Does it set standards of excellence? Does it clarify the purpose and direction? These are things that your vision statement should do. Does it inspire enthusiasm, encourage commitment? Is it well articulated and easy to understand? Does it reflect the uniqueness of your organization? And is it ambitious? Does it show growth? Does it show vision? Where do you want to go with this company? The next step is to create the strategy. And there are 3 ways of looking at this. You've got a growth strategy, a stability strategy, and a defensive strategy. So you want to look at that strategy and see that your strategy can improve an existing product or service. It can increase the promotion and marketing efforts. Can expand your operations. It can expand into new products. It can acquire similar or complementary businesses. Whatever your strategy is it going to be growth? Is it going to be stability? What is it you want your strategy to do? So these are 3 areas, and what you can do as you're looking at this is, where do I get this information? Well, you can gather information in many ways. You can gather it from public prints and advertising, trade magazines. You can look at investor information from other companies. You can go to trade shows, and you can go to informal sources. Newspapers, again, like advertising. Any bit of news releases to learn about your competitors. You can look at trend forecasting or analysis and contingency planning. These are all found in trade magazines. So you want to decide what type of strategy and which way you're going. The other way to look at this is something called SWOT. And that means look at your strengths, your weaknesses, look to your opportunities, and look to your threats. And this is really a great picture. Inside matters, so to speak, or inside your company, you want to look at your strengths, you want to look at your weaknesses, you want to see if you can take your weaknesses and turn them into strengths, and you want to improve your strengths. You always want to look at, are there opportunities on the outside? Is there some other market I'm not looking for? And you always want to look at the threats. Are there threats to my business? So you would use these as a way of analyzing your business. We're actually going to do an activity with this. I think it's kind of fun. So you have the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And I think this is looking at a department in a school. So, and as an example, you would look at the faculty teaching. You would look at the high ability students, your loyal alumni, your strong interdisciplinary programs. So what are the weaknesses? So you have limited programs in business, high teaching loads, insufficient racial diversity, and lack of high technology infrastructure. So these are internal weaknesses. Can you improve on those? And what are the opportunities? So you can pick this up. High school students, what are the threats? Right here. I think all schools face these threats. So this would be an example of using SWOT to analyze your company and to look at your strategies, what you need to do with your strategies. Step 3 is strategy formation, and that amounts to looking at different strategies. The one in the book that is really brought out is Porter's 5 Competitive Forces. You would look for threats of new entrants, people who might be your competitors. You would look for a bargaining power of your suppliers. How stable are your suppliers? It's very important. How about the bargaining power of the people who would buy from you, or that you would buy from? Will you buy in great quantities? Will you have an advantage from that standpoint? Threats for substitute products and services. Is there something out there that can replace your service that you're offering? And finally, you're going to look at your competitors. A lot of times competitors will have a rivalry between themselves, and you may be able to capitalize on that. Now, your competitive strategies, according to Porter, are cost leadership, differential strategy, cost-focused strategy, and focused differential strategy, and that's a mouthful. Basically what they're saying is, what strategy are you going to use for pricing? Are you going to keep your costs low and have a wide market, like Timex or Home Depot? Are you going to have a unique and superior product for a wide market, very similar to like Lexus? Are you going to have keep your costs low in a very narrow market? Are you just going to keep it regional, like regional gas stations, or low-cost cigarettes, things of that nature? Or are you going to have a very unique and superior, but a very narrow market, such as some cars are, like Rolls-Royce or Lamborghini? You have to decide what your competitive strategies are going to be. What market are you going to fall under? And that was just a pretty little graph they gave you in the book. So then you have to look at your market mix. Do you have stars that are high growth and high market share? Those are the ones you want to keep. Do you have some question marks in your products? They have the possibility of becoming stars, or they have the possibility of becoming dogs, as they say down here, that have a very low growth. If you have some items in your repertoire of inventory, if you've got some dogs, get rid of them. And then you have cash cows that have slow growth but a really high market rate. You want to make sure that those continue to be cash cows. So you want to always make sure your market mix. You want to get rid of these, and you want to really watch the question marks, and you want to maintain your cash cows, and you want to handle the stars with kid gloves. So step 4 then becomes implementing the plan. You're going to question, you're going to analyze, and you're going to follow through. You're also going to make sure that your core processes are totally balanced here. That your people are using their potential and their talents, and that you have the available people you need to put forth your strategic plan. That the strategy that you've come up with can be executed by your organization. Do you have the right resources and not just people? Do you have enough money? Do you have funding in place? And finally, are the operations set up? I mean, is there a direction and path for those people to follow? These are questions that have to be asked as you implement this plan. And finally, let's look at control and monitoring. You're always going to be asking these questions, asking if it can be improved, going back and starting with the feedback and bringing it around so it's a closed loop. The required leadership behaviors to pull off and maintain a strategic plan are to know your people, to insist on realism from your people, to set clear priorities, to follow through. I can't say this one enough. Follow through, follow through, follow through. To reward the people who are making it happen. And then as these people make it happen, expand your people's capacities and capabilities. Develop the talent, and that needs to go down there. And then know yourself, okay? Do the hard work of understanding who you are. And that's kind of what our manager profile is. And that is our chapter in a nutshell. We're going to have some fun activities with strategic planning this week. Thank you for listening. I did not include any questions. It's a gift. Have a good day.